And even when these teams have struggled and winless seasons have been part of the equation, that just intensified the resolve to bring home the apples. On the move from inside his 5. Finds just enough space to cross the 25. Let's mark it at the 27-yard line. The Huskies offense going to get the chance to start this game off. Guys, every now and then you can take the emotion of rivalries for granted, but last year when the Huskies and Cougars got together, that was as dramatic as anything you could think of, a cathartic win for the Cougs, who sent UW off with an L.
This is a tremendous rivalry, the Apple Cup, and it looks a little bit different now that they're no longer conference opponents, but that doesn't mean they don't like each other any less, David. These two teams go at it. The fan bases dislike each other enormously, and we're expecting a great one today.
Well, and you always love it with the bragging rights, right? In the state of Washington, whoever wins this football game, you get to talk. Last year, Rodgers puts up a bunch of numbers, but it wasn't enough. Washington State got the dub. Big game, big matchup.
Got him downfield. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down. Curl route seems simple, but when you time it like that so it's right on him, man, that's a tough play to stop.
And give the receiver a lot of credit, too, because he knew where the sticks were. He got his depth on the route, and then he came back to the football. All young receivers can learn from this guy right here. Come back to the ball and help your quarterback out.
Runs through a tackle. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
And if I'm the running back, I'm going to be like, listen, O-line, can you give me something? Can you give me some space to try to make somebody miss and not have another guy right next to me? I'm giving the offensive line an earful. I need some holes, need some space up front. They got to do a better job.
The Huskies with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Grabbed in the middle. It's Boston. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
When these wide receivers work the middle of the field, so much of this is feel. Understanding where the holes are in the zone or understanding how to get leverage on a man. And these wide receivers are dangerous nowadays because they do it so fast and see that so quick and make those plays over the middle.
Williams will pass. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Putting together a real scoring threat here as they pick up the first down at the 36. Defense has dominated the early part of this game, and the stats point that out emphatically. Sometimes you see the offenses sort of settle in, find areas to probe after that first quarter. First play of the period, first down here. Wants to go up top on first down. Pulls it in, it's Green. And he's able to shed one tackle and gets a pretty good pickup. And the Huskies have a lot of options on 2nd and inches. Looking to fire. Grab near the sticks. It's Boston. He steps out of bounds, but it will be enough for a first down.
I'll tell you, QBs and receivers, they practice these out routes all week long. You've got to anticipate. You've got to be comfortable throwing it before he gets out of his break, and they executed it perfectly right there to pick up that first.
Washington has it and a fresh set of downs. They just keep firing. Throws to the wideout. Pulls it in. He's run out of bounds after the big gain, and they are in business, 1st and goal.
And big pass plays like that are the product of an offensive line doing a great job in pass protection. That quarterback cannot read the coverage and get the football out of his hands to the open receiver unless he has time. So give this offensive line tons of credit up front for communicating and not giving up any ground.
And he'll take this into the end zone, but hang on just a second. Flag down. Let's see what this is about.
Offside, defense.
Maybe a momentary scare for that offense when they saw the flag. It's on, the defense declined, and the touchdown stands. Getting set for the extra point after putting the scoreboard to work for the first time. And the extra point makes it 7-0. So it's a 73-yard touchdown drive, and they get it into the end zone with a 6-yard touchdown pass. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. So Washington State's offense has its first opportunity of the day. The matchup we'll be watching in this one really takes you back. Big-time running back going right into the face of a tackling machine at linebacker, David.
Yeah, and we're going to see this individual battle a lot. Not just in pass coverage when they match up, but just...
He's going to go for a big one. And how about that DB getting a hand in there and forcing the incomplete pass? A continual subplot since these two first squared off in 1900 is Washington State trying to prove it deserves the same respect and status as UW.
And I think oftentimes the great rivalries out west are forgotten in college football. This game between Washington and Washington State is absolutely fantastic, and I'm so happy that with conference realignment, they were able to keep this game on the schedule because it is always fun to watch.
It is fun, and it's for the Apple Cup, and here's the cool thing. These teams, they're not in the same conference anymore. They used to be for years, but this rivalry still lives because it still matters to the Washington and Washington State fans.
So what do they have for 3rd and short from their own 23? From the gun, wants to pass. Got it in the middle, it's Meredith. Gets it down to the 33. They pick up the first down, got to use their time wisely. We've got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Looking to throw on first down. Just a short pass to the tight end. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half.
You know, I know it seems like an easy pitch and catch, but for the tight end there, that route potentially changes if it's man coverage. So good job by him knowing it's zone. I'm just going to sit down. This is basically like a check down, right? Let's just take the easy pitch and catch and keep this drive going.
And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Wants to throw on 3rd down. Grab near the marker, it's Johnson. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on 3rd down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
Looking downfield on first down. Working that left side now. They make the stop, and that is the end of the first half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Guys, in a rivalry filled with magical moments, even more here today between the Huskies and Cougars. And yes, football is a game of inches, but man, is that really the case when you consider the length of some of these possessions. Look, I'm not an analytics guy, but I do know this. The team that sustains drives and just moves the sticks might be the team that comes out on top today. I'm less of a citrus guy, fellas, more of a Honeycrisp fan. We'll see which team comes out on top in the Apple Cup.
Washington about to boot it deep to start things in the second half. And he takes this from inside the 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Quick completion on the out route. He goes out of bounds just short of the 30 at the 29-yard line, and when you're backed up, execution like that at a premium. Now on 1st and 10 from the 29. They'll send the back in motion. Looking to throw on first down. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
You know, you got to be careful as a QB throwing to your running back in man coverage. If there's a linebacker draped all over him, then that ball's not going anywhere. You just saw it right there. Better play by the defense.
So now it's 2nd and long. Back to pass. Completes it along the sidelines, but that'll be for no gain. Ball's at the 27. This offense facing a 3rd and long. They'll run the option. He'll toss it. And the 4th option there is to throw it in reverse, and that's what happened on that one.
3rd down. Offense trying to go option, seeing if they can outflank the defense by pitching it, but nothing there. Great penetration up front. The defense looked like they were ready for it, guys, and they're able to come away with a massive negative play.
Washington State sends out the punt unit. Finally sending out a punter in this one. Got to make sure they earn their letter. And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. Opening snap of this drive comes from the 31-yard line. Off play action on 1st down. It's incomplete, and trust me, you will not see that very often from this guy. It's 2nd down.
Well, the receiver did everything right. He ran a good route. He got his head around. He just didn't finish the play. Just look it in.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Williams looking for a man. Pocket breaking down. And the defense got him at the 27. Timeout called by the defense. It's their 1st of the half as they'll make some adjustments. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. Trying to make magic on the scramble. They make the stop just across the 30 at the 31. It's 4th down. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. The Huskies will be forced to boot it away. They'll have to boot it away for the first time tonight. He makes a fair catch, couple of steps inside his own 25 at the 23-yard line. We've reached the break. It's Washington holding the lead. They've built a cushion. They've got a nice lead. Now the task is finish the deal as you take a look at the 3rd quarter stats. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the 4th. So 1st down will open up the final period. Wants to throw on 1st down. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on 1st down. This Husky defense, David, it's like they've got Vita Vea and Steve Emtman up front, Joe Tryon as a backer, and Marcus Peters in the secondary. There's purple everywhere.
You're right, from front to back. Guys up front on the defensive line, eating them up, doing a great job in the secondary at linebacker. Complete performance from this UW defense.
Ripping off a pretty good chunk of yardage. They've got it out to the 41 with a 1st down.
Well, there's an example of how this tight end can be a big weapon in the passing game. That time on the corner route. Does a nice job separating from the defender and hauling in the catch.
The offense lines up at the 41 with a 1st and 10. Motion from the back. To the air on 1st down. Caught in the backfield, it's Johnson. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. They were able to get the ball to the running back in space, but that space just evaporated.
And a great job by the defense, man. It's tough to get those guys on the ground. They're so used to having the football as running backs and making plays and being dynamic. So usually one guy not going to get into the ground. You want many guys swarming to the football, trying to get that elusive guy on the ground.
And that defense is there to guide him out of bounds after a short gain.
Well, look, I know this guy is not the biggest running back in college football, but boy, is he dangerous, right? He's so shifty. He's hard to bring down. It's a good idea to get him going in the passing game. Put him out in space. Let's see what he can do.
Wants to keep it in the air. Thanks for grab. They convert on third down as he gets it to the 46-yard line.
Wow, and what a great job by that quarterback, finding his open receiver on third down. You know, guys, one of the most telling stats at the end of the game is third down conversion percentage. If you're a great third down team, it's invaluable to your offensive success, and that's why teams drill third down so much in practice.
The short hands, it's Ellison. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Yeah, I don't know defensively if you want to keep giving this guy that much cushion, because when he gets the ball in space, he's able to shake all these defenders and turns a 5-yard completion into a first down.
Big drive for this offense late, trying to tie the game. They've pieced together a couple of first downs, and here they come again. He's going to let it go. He just about put this game away. If he'd been able to hold on to that one instead, it's second down.
You got to give this defense tons of credit because they have been lights out. They have not allowed a single point so far, and a big reason why is how well they're playing on the back end. They came into this game knowing the offense was going to try to throw the football, but they're not giving anything up, and another great job that time in coverage.
Makes the grab. It's Johnson. And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on you.
The Cougars come to the line on third down, trying to keep this drive alive. They'll try to get it through the air. Got it in the middle. It's Meredith. Timeout called by the offense. 29 seconds left on the clock. He might have expected to see this DB up in his receiver's kitchen. Instead, nice little zone, and they pick up the first.
Man, offenses are getting so good, Reese, at seeing the holes in the zone, knowing you're in zone, knowing where to sit down, how to make it an easy pitch and catch for the quarterback, and that's what it was on third and short.
That's a bang-bang play, 3-step slant. They rep this over and over in practice so they can go out and execute it on game day like that.
And they are looking to pull even with a touchdown here in the fourth quarter. Wants to go up top. Looking for the goal line. Needed one more turn of the legs to get it in there, and he's denied just inches away from the touchdown. The Huskies had that dog in them in this one, taking down the Cougs for the Apple Cup and the Governor's Trophy. That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.